We previously reviewed and very much enjoyed the Hyundai Kona, the gasoline version. We're driving the electric version. Is the EV Kona all the EV you need? We will discuss.
But first, here's how much the Kona Electric costs.
This interior looks so nice. The sage green and like this neon yellowish green. I would have never thought those two colors would go together, but it looks so good.
This doesn't feel like a cheap, sad place to be like inexpensive cars in the previous decades might have felt. I should note that those soft door panels are specific to the limited and N-line trims of the Kona Electric.
So there is one available in an Evie spec. If I spill matcha all over it, I can just wipe it off again.
It's not just wipeable, it's Evie wipeable. Beyond modern style, we have a very functional space. The thing that I like the most is this open concept center console. It's a really clever reconfigurable space. And when you flip out those cup holders, they make a really fun sound if you have a metal cup.
In addition to these pop-out cup holders, there is room for a bottle in the door, additional storage in both the lower and upper part of the door, as well as this generous dash nook. We've also got a handy phone zone with a wireless phone charger and adjacent charge ports.
Moving to the seats, I am also impressed there. No pressure points and an impressive amount of lateral support that doesn't impede my arm movement. It suggests a sportier demeanor than maybe we actually do experience. I'll talk more about that in a moment, but I really find these to be comfortable and supportive.
The only part of the seats I dislike is that I find this headrest intrudes a bit for me.
That might be the seat's way of saying recline, just a little.
No.
Sweetie lives with the body posture of a meerkat, and you're not going to change that. Seated behind my ideal front seat position, there is an impressive amount of rear seat knee and headroom. That middle seat is also fully Micah worthy, 5'10", long torso, poofy hair. We got that flat floor, so there's plenty of leg space for me. We also have a 2-position recline. That is not a ubiquitous feature in the subcompact SUV segment. Kiddo, what about you? How do you find sitting in the back of the Hyundai Kona Electric?
I think the seats are nice and big and comfy.
And then what about climbing in and out of the Kona? Any challenges?
No challenges.
We have rear vents in our Tester. Those do not come on the base trim, but all the other ones do. And then standard on all Kona Electrics are dual USB-C ports. Moving rearward, we've got 25.5 cubic feet of cargo space, which is competitive for the subcompact SUV segment. 60/40 split fold seats come standard.
I really appreciate the adjustable floor on it. You can have it in the lower position so that your cans don't roll out. You can have it in the upper position to have a smooth transition when you have the seats lowered.
Yeah, and you got that underfloor area where you can hide some stuff. Whatever your terrible dark secrets are, slide them under there.
I hope they're small.
Oh, and exclusive to the limited trim that we're driving here is a smart opening tailgate where if you stand back there with the key in your pocket for 3 seconds, it will magically open up. Sweetie, what's the car seat situation?
There are 3 top tethers as well as lower anchors in the outboard positions. Based on the overall dimensions of the rear seat, I do not think that there would be room for 3 car seats across, and installing the latches are a little bit finicky because of the narrow opening. I'm 5'2", behind a workable front seat position for myself. There is room for a rear-facing car seat.
As for safety, the NHTSA rates the Kona Electric 4 stars overall, which is a little surprising because the IIHS gives it the top safety pick plus rating, and normally the IIHS is a little bit more stringent. Look, I'm no crash test scientist, but I do know that we have a full suite of active driver assist technology standard, plus, what do we got, 6 airbags in here? Yeah, it feels like about 6. Family, what do we think? Is the Hyundai Kona Electric family friendly?
Small family friendly.
Small family friendly.
Rear window test. And all the way down, woo! Armrest test. Driving in comfortable 8 and 4 easy access inboard and outboard. A little bit better squish factor inboard than over here on the outboard. I'm going 85% inboard, 75% outboard. I feel like I've been saying inboard and outboard way too many times here. Inboard and outboard. Moving onward to style. When I look at the Hyundai Kona, I think, oh man, that's kind of what we would have thought cars would look like in the future when we were growing up in like the 90s.
So you always thought the future would look like aspirin tablets?
Kinda. Sleek, smooth.
I really like that lighting treatment with that thin line, but the real headlights are below it. I also like the contrast between the smoothness of the hood and the crisp lines that are all along the side.
For a base $33,000 asking price for the Kona Electric, you cannot say that they're not giving you, boy, I've got a layer upon layer of negatives here, but you can't say they're not giving you enough style. I think I got there. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
2 scoops of style for you.
To give you a little extra time to appreciate the Kona's sweet style, Sweetie is going to do a full lap with the camera. And while she does that, I'm going to wear these matching Flying Eyes Kingfishers, the narrow ones, with the mirrored amethyst lenses. Functional, comfortable, and stylish. That applies to both the Kona and to Flying Eyes, although only one of those was meticulously engineered for pilots. You'll never guess which one. If you'd like to learn more, click the link in the description below. Funny thing, I was wearing the wrong sunglasses. I was supposed to be wearing these white ones that perfectly match the car, but I wasn't. Here's the ones I was supposed to be wearing. Look at those. Yeah, that's a matching set of sunglasses. The most notable update for the 2025 model year includes the addition of an N-line trim to the Kona Electric lineup, and it's got a different kind of fascia thing going and then a spoiler. It is not more sporty, but it does look more sporty.
I actually prefer the look of this one.
On the list of shocking revelations, that is very low. We like the look of the Kona Electric, but what do you guys think? Like it, dislike it? Tell us in the comments. Also, thank you for watching this video. You could be watching a lot of other things right now, and I hope I'm not reminding you to do so, but we appreciate you spending time with us. Moving onward to In Motion. During my commute in the Hyundai Kona Electric, I noted exactly the same kind of stuff that I noted in the gasoline version. Over big bumps and undulations, it takes a little bit of a beat for the body to settle down with those movements, but it's not off-putting. Interestingly, if you go with the gasoline Kona in the lower trims, actually the front-wheel drive trims, it has a torsion beam rear suspension, and then the all-wheel drive versions get a multi-link. All electric versions get the multi-link. So if we're experiencing any level of improved ride quality, that's to what we could attribute it. I feel like I used a lot of words to say it rides well.
Why don't you throw some quadruple negatives in there?
I don't, not unlike the good, not bad driving when I steer.
Huh?
That is correct, kiddo. We do have a fairly speedy steering ratio, which might suggest that we have sporty handling dynamics, but we really don't. We have competent handling dynamics.
You'll be surprised to know that I actually prefer that to sporty dynamics.
Again, least surprising revelation ever. It goes where you want it to go, and that is perfectly acceptable for the category. Something we noted driving the gasoline version, sometimes you would be lugging along in like a high gear, and then you kind of push into it, and then it's like you're getting too much acceleration. And I also noticed off the line it took a beat for it to build up its head of steam. All of the minor challenges that we experienced in the gasoline version have been addressed by putting an electric motor in here. Punchy acceleration off the line with immediate responses when you're just cruising like this. There you are. Now, one thing I have noticed is that it kind of eased into the acceleration rather than being a big punch, and I believe that is because all Kona Electrics only come with front-wheel drive. So what they're smartly doing is managing torque output so you don't get a bunch of torque steer pulling the steering wheel this way or that way. That's my job. If we're going to drive stupidly, I want to be the one doing it.
You're doing a great job.
So if you're wondering, sending all the electric torque through the front wheels, is that going to be a problem? Nah, it's fine. They got it figured out through the magic of science. Down here, we do have a drive mode selector with a few modes to go through. We've been driving in normal mode. There's eco mode if you really need to get to that charger, but leaving it in sport here for just a moment. As I come out of this corner, let's just get into it. Just a little bit of tire spin and more prompt reaction. So yeah, if you really want to go with haste, sport is the way to go. And then we do also have a snow mode. And as people who live in a place where it snows, that might actually come in handy. On the steering wheel, we've got a couple of paddles, and there's various gradations of regenerative braking. I've activated I-pedal, that's the max, and it should bring us to a complete stop. But let's see if it can go to that stop smoothly. Ooh, that's like Micah smooth.
It is so smooth.
Very impressive. Couldn't tell when we stopped moving. Now I'm going to do the exact opposite. I'm going to take the regen completely out of the equation, and now I'm going to come to a complete stop doing the Micah Muzio limo test and see if I can do it with the brake pedal, see if I can match the smoothness of I-pedal. That was awful. I did a terrible job. Let me try one more time, and
oh,
still not as good.
Not as smooth.
I gotta hand it to I-pedal. You have bested me. That's what I think about driving the Hyundai Kona Electric. What does Sweetie think? Evie's at the wheel. Roll out of here and see if you have the power you need.
Whoa.
A little tire spin, a little chirpy chirpy.
But plenty of power.
We have a turn here. Tell me, how does it feel steering the Kona Electric?
Whee!
Can you add some detail to that?
No, that's your job.
What she meant to say when she said "we" is that when she turns, there's actually a little bit of body lean, and while that has been derided over many, many years by automotive journalists just like myself,
I like it.
Why do you like it?
I like it because it tells me something's happening.
I think what you're experiencing is a little bit of dynamism, but at a very modest pace.
That sounds great. I also want to say that I really appreciate that this acts like a regular car. It doesn't do all that electric car stuff where it turns itself on and off and the door handles go away.
Oh, like with the butts detector and that kind of stuff, where it's like, I guess you want to go now. You just hit the start button and then it's on.
That's what I want. I don't predict what I'm going to do. I'm unpredictable.
What is this butt detector you speak of?
Well, kiddo, you'd want to watch our Volkswagen ID Buzz video where we really dive into it.
Too much work. I'm joking.
Any visibility challenges?
Over my right shoulder, there's a really thick D-pillar back there. Tiny window, I would be concerned on the freeway. Fortunately, in this trim, we have a little camera that shows me what's happening back there when I put on the turn signal.
Even if you don't have the highest trim with that camera, blind spot warning does come standard. If we were in the market for a small electric vehicle, are there any game killers that would keep you from driving a Kona Electric?
No game killers here.
And you said that with more enthusiasm than the way you always say it, which lets me know that maybe you actually really like the car.
I really like driving this.
Oh, one last question. You had to charge the thing. Any challenges charging?
The only challenges charging came from the charger, not the vehicle. The vehicle was very easy to set up.
Cool. I'm getting back in the driver's seat. Moving onward to remarks. Infotainment. We get a standard 12.3-inch screen, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless smartphone connectivity comes standard.
I like this display. The icons are big, they are different colors, which makes it much easier for me to see what I'm pressing out of the corner of my eye. There's a combination of physical buttons and knobs here, which I find very easy to use.
And I think for a comparatively inexpensive car, this dual screen setup really looks elevated. Sometimes I wish we would get lower trims because they always want to get us in the higher trims so we could be dazzled by them and also see all the features that are offered. I am glad we have the limited trim though, because we have the 360-degree camera system. It's a really impressive feature in, again, a comparatively inexpensive segment.
And it really was helpful in me driving it around without damaging it.
Hooray! Going back to this video's original premise, is the Kona Electric all the EV you actually need? Well, it seats 5 comfortably in all seats like they're fully adult worthy. The base $33,000 version really does have all the essential features you need. There is ample cargo space, certainly for a small family, and it looks cool. Unless your specific use case demands all-wheel drive, yeah, this is really all the EV you need. Feel free to fill our comment section with all the exceptions to the thing I just said. And now a test inspired by my buddy Brian. Are you wondering, hey, does that Kona EV have a frunk? Sure does. There's where you open up the little frunk space. It's not massive, but it's something. And over on the left side, that's where you add the washer fluid. And if you're wondering what the Kona Electric horn sounds like, all right, let's talk engine choices. As mentioned, the Kona EV only comes with front-wheel drive. The base battery is a 48.6 kilowatt-hour unit, but move up beyond the base trim and you get a bigger battery pack and more power. For DC quick charging, you can charge your Kona Electric from 10 to 80% in 43 minutes at a max 100 kilowatt rate. If driving electric is not your thing, you can also get a Kona powered by gasoline. There's a base 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, and then there's also a 1.6-liter turbo available in the N-Line and Limited trims.
Sweetie, please share our trim recommendation.
On it, our trim recommendation is which trim will give you the essential features you'd regret not getting in a Kona Electric, but at the lowest possible price. The base Kona Electric SE trim includes dual zone climate control, those dual 12.3-inch screens, and smart key access. Even at the $33,000 base price, it's got the essentials. But if it were us, we'd move up one trim to the SEL. It's a hefty $4,000 increase, but that SEL adds an 8-way power driver's seat, heated front seats, and second row AC vents. More importantly, in every trim above the base trim, you get a bump in power and a larger battery pack, increasing range from 200 to 261 miles. In an electric vehicle, you will never regret having more range. If you're ready to buy a Kona Electric of your very own, click the Kelley Blue Book pricing link in the description below to learn what you can get for your current car on trade-in and what you should spend on a Hyundai Kona Electric. Small electric crossover competitors include the Toyota BZ, that's a fun name, and the Kia Niro. In terms of price though, the closest competitor might be the Chevrolet Equinox EV. Did we miss any remarks? If so, tell us in the comments section. And now it's our daughter's time to shine. Child, can you tell us what is your favorite feature in the Hyundai Kona Electric?
I like the radiant looking green trim.
I do too.
I like your use of the word radiant.
This is the sage green interior theme, and it's only available, sadly, on the limited trim. I really wish you could get this in any of the trims, because I think it really adds to the interior. Of course, if you look at the most recent Yamaha Revstar guitar I bought, you would know that this is very much my style. Family, I think we've done a good job reviewing the Kona Electric. May I have a 5 and a 5? And you can get your high five. Blammo! And now, please enjoy our AI-generated synopsis song about the Hyundai Kona Electric.
Cruising in my Kona, got space for the crew. Electric vibes, feeling fresh and so new. Every corner